Hey guys, hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's ready for spring break. I know I am. Need a break for sure. So, my informative presentation, I'm going to be doing my presentation on serial killers and the correlation between serial killers and pop culture and violence and pop culture, really in general. So, I'll be going over my three main points, which is going to be why we are so drawn as human beings, why we're so drawn to and fascinated by serial killers, violence, that sort of thing. I will be going over the history of violence in pop culture and film, and then I'll also reference a few movies that are very popular and successful movies that were based on real life serial killers. So, hope you guys can enjoy this, maybe learn a little bit. So, point one, why I chose this topic. I love film, I love true crime, horror. I love horror and kind of all that combined. I thought this would be a really good topic for me to do, something I'm kind of already a little knowledgeable about too, but could also do some research and learn some more myself. So that's why I chose this. So my main point one, why are we so drawn to it? And I think as humans we're fascinated by real life, true crime, that sort of thing. So that doesn't involve us, but it involves someone else. So I read an article from Monica Jimenez from Tufts magazine, TUFTS magazine, and she's researched, and it sparks excitement for us. Any kind of violence or killing, serial killers, it sparks excitement for us, and it kind of draws us away from the mundaneness of our life, because it can be boring, right? I mean, we have routines, we have this and that going on, and it gets boring, it gets mundane. So it sparks the excitement for us, shock, fear for some of us. They play into our attraction of the macabre, and I think as humans we have that. We have that natural attraction to stuff like that, and it plays into that, and it like I said, it just kind of brings some excitement to our lives that we don't have. The more grisly or violent something is, it seems like the more it takes us away from reality and into a fantasy, so to speak, and we're drawn to that in that way. The history of it, which will take me to my point two, the history of violence in film and pop culture goes way back, and Thomas Edison was actually one of the founding fathers, so to speak, of this sort of thing. I read an article from a guy named David Schmid from the University of Chicago, and Thomas Edison said one time that fame and violence kind of go hand in hand. So one of the very first phonograph recordings that Edison did was actually a recording of an actor that was reading the Confessions of H.H. Holmes. That was one of the very first phonographic recordings ever made. So the history goes way back with that. Also, he did I think you call them kinetoscopes. One of the very first one of those that he did was of the execution of Mary, Queen of Scots. So he had a fascination with that, and he incorporated it into his inventions and his studies, and it really, it worked. It worked for his audiences. They loved it. So that has kind of continued throughout the course of history and throughout the course of pop culture, film, music, TV, all of it. We see it everywhere. It's everywhere. Violence is around us, and it's been popularized as part of our culture now. It's just, which will take me to point three, kind of. Some of the most successful films have been based on serial killers, and one of the most popular ones is Ed Gein. And we see you've got Psycho, based off Ed Gein, Mother Issues incorporated into that movie, Silence of the Lambs, if you've seen that, Buffalo Bill is based on Ed Gein, mutilation of corpses, and of course, probably the most popular one, Texas Chainsaw, Leatherface, all based off of Ed Gein. So we take these serial killers and we I don't want to say immortalize, but we bring them into our culture and we make it normal, and we're entertained by it. And the entertainment industry has capitalized on that, and we still see it. I mean, you got the Netflix series Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, it's all over the place, and I think that's part of our culture now, and that's just the way it is. We're fascinated by it. We like it, and it's going to continue to be successful. So, in conclusion, really, we've went over the history. We've went over why we're so drawn. Some examples of film that have been popular and successful because of it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope you've learned a little bit of something about it. And I cannot wait for our next presentation. Good luck, guys.